A recent storm of controversy broke out when TV personality Ahn Hyun-mo posted a comment about the Jeju Air Flight 2216 crash, sparking widespread debate across the internet. The aftermath of Ahn Hyun-mo's post reveals the tricky balance between sharing one's thoughts and respecting the shared grief of a nation during the current mourning period. Ready to learn more about this story? Let's go! Background of the Jeju Air Flight 2216 crash. On December 29th of 2024, a tragic airplane disaster took place as Jeju Air Flight 7C-2216, a Boeing 737-800, tried to land at Muon International Airport in South Korea. The flight, coming from Bangkok, Thailand, carried 181 people, 175 passengers, and 6 crew members. During the final stretch of the flight, the plane was warned of potential bird strikes. Moments later, the crew declared a mayday and requested a second landing attempt on an alternate runway. Tragically, the plane came down with its landing gear malfunctioning, skidding along the runway, and eventually crashing into a concrete wall at the end of the runway. The smash caused the plane to burst into a huge and lethal fireball, leading to the loss of 179 lives and becoming the deadliest aviation disaster in Korean history. The incident left only 2 survivors, crew members who'd been in the tail section and who were rushed to the hospital for treatment. Currently, investigators are looking into all the possible causes of the crash, including the malfunctioning landing gear, bird strike complications, the wall, and bad weather conditions, as the world looks on, and the global media has turned its attention to the tragedy. While the authorities have salvaged the flight data and cockpit recordings, finding the exact cause may take months. Meanwhile, South Korea has ordered extensive safety inspections of their aircraft, as the nation mourns the victims of this horrible event. Making matters worse, this tragedy happened less than a week after Korea instated its second acting president. Ahn Hyun-mo's controversial post and the reaction. In the wake of the tragedy, public figures, including celebrities and influencers, took to their platforms to express condolences, raise awareness, and share their personal reflections. Among them was Ahn Hyun-mo, a former reporter and TV personality, whose Instagram post sparked significant backlash. Ahn Hyun-mo's Instagram story featured a reflection on her gratitude for having personally safely taken planes over the previous few days. Her caption read, "Although I've been on planes on Friday, Saturday, and even today for several days, getting on and off the plane was all out of luck. It was all something to be thankful for. The more I think about it, even inhaling and exhaling can be heartbreaking." While Ahn Hyun-mo's post may have been well-intentioned, it quickly drew negative attention from Korean netizens, who saw her comment as tone-deaf and inconsiderate. Specifically, netizens took issue with how she framed her survival as a matter of luck, implying that those who passed didn't have the same luck, which could be interpreted as a dismissive response to the tragic loss of life. Her choice to focus on her own feelings of gratitude rather than on the grief of those affected by the crash was taken by some as being insensitive towards the victims who had passed in such a violent and horrific way. Comments flooded online forums, with some saying, "Who is she to talk about luck? Those people did not die because they didn't have luck." And others suggested she should have done a simple memorial post instead of writing all that. The backlash against Ahn Hyun-mo's comment showed the disconnection between her personal reflection and the collective mourning of a nation, especially as the country is already sensitive due to the shock of this national tragedy. Understanding the backlash to Ahn Hyun-mo's comment. The criticism of Ahn Hyun-mo's post stems from a few key cultural and social expectations. For one, in South Korea, like in many other cultures, mourning and remembrance during national tragedies are deeply rooted in tradition. As such, public figures are expected to express solidarity with the collective grief of the nation. However, Ahn Hyun-mo's post, which emphasized her personal feelings of gratitude, was seen as selfish in contrast, as some felt her words drew attention away from the victims and their families during a time of deep loss. Plus, as a former journalist and TV personality, Ahn Hyun-mo specifically holds a public platform that comes with a responsibility to guide and support the public during crises. In response to the widespread criticism, Ahn Hyun-mo issued an apology, acknowledging the shortcomings of her initial message and emphasizing her condolences and solidarity with those mourning the tragedy. In her statement, she wrote, "I failed in my attempt to express my condolences adequately. I am overwhelmed with grief over the Jeju air tragedy. I extend my heartfelt condolences to the family enduring immense pain and pray for the departed souls to rest in peace." While the public's perception to her apology remains uncertain, Ahn Hyun-mo's tone suggests her comments were genuinely meant to convey compassion and sorrow, even if they initially missed the mark. Whether this will help mend her relationship with her audience depends on the public's willingness to accept her explanation and move forward. Conclusion. In conclusion, the controversy around Ahn Hyun-mo's post highlights the delicate line public figures walk when it comes to national tragedies, as her initial comments, although most likely well-intended, inadvertently clashed with a collective mourning. This incident serves as a reminder of the weight carried by words, particularly during times of grief and loss, as South Korea continues to mourn the victims of the Jeju Air Flight 2216 crash. It's going to be incredibly important for public figures to approach the sensitive topic with empathy and understanding. What do you think about Ahn Hyun-mo's comments? Do you agree that it was insensitive, or do you think the reaction was overblown? Let me know in the comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe while you're at it.